Hey guys, and welcome back to Pixel Cherry Ninja's channel. It's the weekend, which means only one thing. It's time for that weekly news roundup. As always, we will begin with FPGA gaming news, the MiSTer, the Analogue Pocket, and any other FPGA gaming news out there. Timestamps have been made available, so use those to navigate your way around the video. And if you are not subscribed to the channel, then a subscription and a like is super duper appreciated. If you wish to support the channel further, I do have a Patreon set up, so go check that out, or you can become a channel member. Let's check out the sponsor of the weekly news show, the absolutely awesome NFC project Zapparoo. This is a lot of fun in a digital world where we don't have a lot of physical stuff. Well, this turns your digital stuff into physical via NFC. And finally, guys, check out London's best arcade, Free Play City. Anyway, let's see what's going on with the news. Kickstarting this week's episode with this, and many of you guys will be happy because a lot of you guys did actually watch this cartoon. Now, I don't ever remember this cartoon being in the UK, but let's have a look at this tweet from Hervieux where he says, "We finally got an original board. We will extract schematics and port it to MiSTerFPGA." And I'm going to call it out and say this is likely going to come out for the Analogue Pocket as well. I initially saw this X post on my mobile and I couldn't quite make out the screen. It was quite small, but then I kind of zoomed in, had a look. Yes, it's the Cowboys of Moo Mesa. It's a Konami game. It's like Sunset Riders, but instead of cowboys, you're actually cows. So guys, never watched this cartoon. Do let me know if you watched this cartoon. I mean, I saw plenty of cartoons, Brave Star, Action Force, TMNT, but never the Cowboys of Moo Mesa. Very, very interesting game. I did a video on it, had a look at it. I did play it before when I knew this was on Hervieux's roadmap some time ago. It's a fun game. If you like Sunset Riders, you will like this. Most people I know that have played both say this is actually the better game. I have nostalgia for Sunset Riders, so that will always be the favorite, but this game does have some very, very interesting mechanics. Can't wait to get an FPGA implementation, so yeah, looking forward to this. Cowboys of Moo Mesa. If this was your jam, then hopefully we'll be playing this on our FPGA devices soon. Massive shout out to RGM, who actually pinged me over on X because I didn't know about this, but this is really interesting. Something I want to check out on the weekend, either a video or a live stream. But hey, you know, we have the Nintendo 64 core. For the MiSTerFPGA, it was overclocked to 80 megahertz. Then it was overclocked to 94 megahertz. Well, guess what? Now it runs at a speedy 125 megahertz. It's available over on the MiSTerFPGA forums. There you go, you can see the attachment there. I've downloaded this, I want to check this out. And it says over here, the user that has posted this is Harbor Seal. This is the 94 megahertz plus core. The CPU clock has been raised to 125 megahertz while the RCP overclock remains at 94 megahertz. So it'll be interesting to test out some games, stuff like GoldenEye and Perfect Dark, and just to see how it actually compares even to the Analogue 3D now. But really interesting. Love to see this extra performance boost that the Nintendo 64 core is getting for the MiSTerFPGA, and this is something I definitely want to check out. If you do want to get it for yourself, well, you know, follow the links in the description and you can go and try this out for yourself. Guys, check this out. This is a classic arcade game, I think from 1982. It's called Blueprint by Bally Midway, and the developer behind this is Rodimus FVC. You may remember them from the release that was featured in last week's video called Tutankhamun. So they developed that core. It was initially available as a manual install. By the time the weekly news video came around last week, it was available via update tool. Well, guess what? Rodimus FVC, they have a taste for core development, and after releasing Tutankhamun, they have moved over to the next core. Now, this is currently a work in progress. That's why you're seeing some of the graphics muddled up, but it's amazing to see the progress they're making, considering that they have just entered the FPGA development scene with their first core, and now they're doing a second one. So Blueprint on its way. Some of the graphics are a little bit muddled up, you can see that. No doubt Rodimus will get this working soon. Now, if you do want to get this up and running for yourself, well, guess what? You can. There's a GitHub available for it where you can download the current build, which is a work in progress, and mess around with it and play it if you like. So keep an eye. Naturally, when this does get fully done, it will be available via update tool, just like their previous release. But interesting. But I'll tell you what I'm really interested in. Were you around in the arcade playing this game? Because I wasn't. And I'm always interested and curious about you folk that are a little bit older than me, that were in the arcade before me, and what that era was like. Anyway, good stuff. New developer. Love getting new blood on FPGA gaming development. So Rodimus, absolutely awesome dude. Let's check this out. So this is from Anime Otaku, MiSTer Companion. This is something that is a companion for your MiSTer, and it just makes things easy. So what exactly is MiSTer Companion? As Anime Otaku describes it, MiSTer Companion is a lightweight GUI utility for managing and maintaining your MiSTerFPGA system over SSH. It provides a simple interface for common maintenance tasks without needing to use a terminal. So supports device management, save multiple MiSTer systems, storage, usage monitoring, so you can see exactly how much usage you have on your memory card right there, and as well as that update tool installation and execution. So there you go, you don't need to add update tool manually, it will do that for you via literally a single click. SMB enable and disable, guys. SMB is super handy. I use it all the time for my MiSTer. Sometimes I'm doing live streams. I remember one live stream, it was a Sega Saturn one. The developer SRG320 actually posted an updated version of the core mid-stream. So I was able to grab the version of the core and just add it to my MiSTer via SMB and then use that version of the core during the stream. You know, people at home were watching, it didn't break the experience or anything. It's super handy. And it's just an easy way when you're on your PC. You don't have to take out your SD card or anything. You can just access your MiSTer over a network. Very, very handy. I use it all the time. The only time I take out my SD card is if I'm copying like massively big files, which is really the case anymore. Continuing on, open MiSTer Share in Windows Explorer and finally reboot or remote reboot. Now there are some prerequisites, as you can see. Sorry, this the companion, very simple graphical user interface here, just with buttons that you click and it does what it says on the tin. So requirements: you need to flash your MiSTer with MiSTer Fusion, which is usually the first step anyone needs to take if you are setting up a MiSTerFPGA yourself. You need something like Rufus to burn it. Then your MiSTer is connected to your local network and your MiSTer has an active internet connection. So good stuff there, something very handy. I want to test this out. I haven't had the time during the week. Maybe over the weekend or during the week I'll do a dedicated video, because I love stuff like this. I love stuff that just makes our life easier. And Anime Otaku has been a busy boy. So as well as the MiSTer Companion, over here you can see NFC Card Generator 218, and later on they actually update that to 2.2.0. So adds official Linux x86 64 build, no Python required, just extract chmod +x and run. No new functionality for Windows. This release focuses on Linux stability. And guys, if you want to make your NFC cards and you want a template, you want to make them easily, definitely check this out from Anime Otaku. And having a look at some of the changes on here. So okay, so the new release adds 2 new templates, bringing the total to 8, plus improvements to the template selector scroll bar, available for Windows and Linux. And again, absolutely love this stuff. If you want to make your own NFC cards, there's templates there. You can literally just drag and drop images in there and it just does everything for you. Very easy way to make this. And running your MiSTer via NFC, or especially if you've got something like an arcade machine or you've got your MiSTer in a front room, it's just a very convenient way to, well, have some NFC cards for your favorites or your most used games or cores. We have some really cool stuff from Mr. MultiSystem. The guys at Hervieux have been busy, so here we have it. So on the left hand side we have an LCD screen that attaches to, well, the left of your Mr. MultiSystem 2. On the right hand side we have a cartridge slot, so you can essentially load, for now, Game Boy and Game Boy Color games and hopefully Game Boy Advance games in the future. Looks very cool. Even though I wouldn't have the space for it, it is too wide. And there you go, better look at the screen there, and yeah, the cartridge reader there. Really do like these guys. They're definitely innovating a lot of really cool stuff. Let's check this out. Okay, again, looking really cool. And there you go, absolutely fantastic. Rampage, very therapeutic game. Recommend everyone to play that. But I have to say that is really getting wider. And I did a video during the week, and at the end of the video, or near the end of the video, just for a laugh, I started messing around and saying what would happen if they keep going in this direction. How big will the MiSTer MultiSystem 2 get? And this is what we were having a look at. And do understand, this is just a joke. It is a bit of fun, and I kind of went into AI and I said, yeah, make it look bigger, and then I said make it look even bigger and add a fishing rod controller. Anyway, that is just a laugh. Just for a bit of fun. But yeah, the MiSTer MultiSystem 2 is looking really cool. As long as you've got the space and you're not in the corner of your bedroom with no space to do your stuff, this might be something for you. Cartridges on the side and then a little LCD display on the other side. Good stuff. MiSTer MultiSystem 2 from Hervieux. Hey, cast your mind back, guys, to when we had forums. Well, forums are still going, and this one here is a great one. Definitely check it out, MiSTerFPGA.org. So on this forum, there's a thread. It's called MiSTer Updates and Changelog. So what happens is anytime anything gets added to Update Tool, it is posted in the thread, and it's been a massive one for cause. There's been quite a lot of updates. So you can see over here for the main, guess what, Saturn fixes by SRG320, that's followed by PlayStation fixes by Bemjo and Zach. Then we've got N64 fixes by Ricard, auto direct video mode from Mr. Addons, and over here make subcarrier VGA mode option instead of standalone, and that's from Mr. Addons as well. Send SPT info in non-direct video mode, and then for SNES add competition card support, auto fire overhaul by Tiny Toon, other fixes and tweaks. Now what's really amazing here is a lot of this stuff was on the unstable nightlies, as well as that it was available as test builds, and that's now been implemented into the MiSTer main. It means you don't need an unstable version of the MiSTer operating system. You simply run Update Tool, and these are the updates that you will get. And in regard to the Mini-MIG, CIA fixes by Adam, Denise, and Angus fixes by T. Delage 26 and updated framework. So really cool there. We're going to have a look at the unstable ones, and some of the unstable ones might actually now be implemented with the main, but it's awesome to get these updates. In particular, if you're not someone that tries the unstable side, on the SNES, try the competition cards. They're a lot of fun, especially if you've got friends around. That's the competition car for the Super Nintendo. So where we just had a look at all these cores that were updated via Update Tool, some of these ones may already be included, some of these may not be included, but we received a lot of updates for test builds and unstable cores, one of them being the PlayStation, as well as the MSX, Amstrad, Sega System 1, the Super Nintendo, the Mega Drive, the Sega Saturn, the Game Boy, and the Mini-MIG. So a big week for unstable nightlies as well as test builds. So here we have another test build, but I didn't bundle this with everything else because I feel like this deserves its own section because this is something new. So this here has been put on the MiSTerFPGA Discord server under test builds from Conga. If you recognize that name, they recently added keyboard support to the Sega Saturn where you could play games using a keyboard via USB. So what have they done now? Well, they have got the Game Boy Workboy, and guys, I had no idea what this was, so I kind of had to research it. You can see some images here. You've got your Game Boy, your DMG with a freaking keyboard. So what is it? Well, the Workboy was an unreleased 1992 productivity peripheral for the original Game Boy that functioned as a PDA featuring a keyboard and a specialized software cartridge. It offered tools like a calendar, calculator, and address book connecting via link port, but was cancelled due to high costs, with only 2 known prototypes surviving. So I guess the prototypes were kind of shared somewhere, and now a core has been made. I'm dying to check this out, and hopefully I'll get a bit of time over the weekend where I can actually test this core out, but it definitely sounds like a lot of fun. I'm a big Game Boy fan, and I'm very surprised that I never knew of this, but it's something that I definitely want to try. If you know about this, or you've tried this on emulation, or you've tried this core, let me know in the comments below. But again, absolutely love MiSTer for everything that it offers, and if you do want to grab this, you know where it is. It's in the test build sections of the MiSTerFPGA Discord server. And more interesting updates here from Conga. I did mention that they added keyboard support, and guess what? It was actually in my notes straight after that. So let's have a look at that. So this over here is the Sega Saturn core, and I am playing this game here, Dodonpachi, using a keyboard because the Sega Saturn had a keyboard, and guess what? It actually worked with quite a lot of games. Difficult to play. I'm not really a keyboard guy, but very interesting to see nonetheless. So let's just go over to the page over here, and you can see that they have added, so add Saturn keyboard emulation, key mappings, and supported titles. There's a link there where it shows you exactly what games it works with. So you've got it there for the Saturn. But what's really interesting as well is they have added Mega Drive keyboard support. I haven't tested that out yet. And also for the NES, they have added mouse support, which adds SNES mouse emulation. So really cool stuff there. Absolutely amazing. Let me know what you think of this keyboard support. I wanted to test it out. It's not something I'm going to use, but it is very cool to get that going. And a quick mention here to a long-time supporter of the channel, and they have started up their Twitch. That's their channel name up there, and they are called Reflex. You can see how it's spelled. It's spelled in a funky way. But what they are intending on doing is putting together hardware in live streams so you guys can view it and learn from it. And they intend to put together some MiSTer kits. So if you're interested in something like that, give them a follow, check them out. Were you after a Mini-ITX Ironclad DX case for your MiSTerFPGA? Well, guess what? D3Fmod may still have them in stock. This tweet was put out a few days ago, and hopefully they're still in stock. We'll check in just a second. So the MiSTerFPGA Mini-ITX Ironclad DX is finally back for a new batch tomorrow with limited discount price. Get yours while they're last over here, and clicking on that link over here, let's see if they're in stock. So here you go, batch 3 MiSTer Mini-ITX Ironclad DX, and instead of 220 euros, they are 200 euros. And there you go. If that's something you want, check the links. Guess what's loading, guys? That's right, Quake is loading on the Analogue Pocket. Absolutely amazing. The developer behind this, they are called MiSTer, and they are definitely a maestro in bringing this over as a RISC 5-core running natively on the Analogue Pocket. Absolutely amazing. But you know what's even better? You can actually play this two-player. No, not by taking turns on your Analogue Pocket, but via a link cable, the Gameboy color link cable. I think you connect it, and guess what? You can play two players with a buddy of yours on a bus where you fight it out in a Quake deathmatch. Absolutely amazing. So well done, MiSTer. Absolutely love it, and I look forward to seeing more stuff like this coming over to the Analogue Pocket. But yeah, amazing. For now, we've got Quake, one of the best first-person shooters out there, an absolute classic, available to play and download right now on your Analogue Pocket. So some interesting stuff with ModRetro's M64. There's a few YouTube channels, and in this case, like this X post that we're having a look at, they have a YouTube channel as well, by the way. So they are showing the ModRetro, not exactly in full action, but some of the action nonetheless. So over here, you can see that transparent color. You can look inside at the PCB, the lights, and it does look interesting. What I found very interesting was the two dials you've got on the front. The one on the right-hand side, you can like spin it around to navigate through the menus, and if you push it down, you make your selection. It's got an eject button at the back because they want you to be able to take the cartridge out single-handedly. As well as that, you can connect to Wi-Fi, and in this video they did a Wi-Fi update, so that's interesting. Another channel that got it was this channel here, Retro Dowdle, and they actually go into a really deep dive. So if you're interested in the M64, then definitely watch this video. It's 17 minutes long, and to be honest, it was thoroughly entertaining, and they go through a lot of the stuff that this offers. I can't actually remember all of it now. I did watch the video. They go over more stuff than Christopher. So if you're going to watch one video, I would say the Retro Dowdle one's the better one to watch if you want a comprehensive overview. But there are some limitations. There's some stuff that they can't show, but we did have a look at this. Okay, so it's popping out the cartridge over there. And a final one here. This was really interesting from Christopher. I watched this earlier. So what he essentially does is he runs a game on the Analogue 3D and the ModRetro M64 simultaneously, well, not simultaneously, but at the same time, to see which one can boot into game first. Well, if you're pressed for time and you want to load your games quickly, then in that case, I'm going to give you a little bit of a spoiler. The M64 loads a lot quicker than the Analogue 3D if you just want to boot and go into game. A super interesting article here on Sega Saturn Shiro.com. Workboy recreates Minecraft on Saturn. This is freaking amazing. Now, in order to get access to this, it's not publicly available. You need to be a Patreon supporter of Workboy in order to get access. Now, I think he's extended that courtesy to Patreon supporters of Sega Saturn Shiro as well. Now, if I was into Minecraft, then yeah, I would sign up and grab this, right, to have a look. But I can't stand Minecraft. I tried playing it, not criticizing it. I actually love the idea of it. I think about it as a modern Lego. My kids play. I definitely prefer them playing Minecraft to when they were playing Roblox. I think it's very good. I played it a few times with them multiplayer, and you know what they do? They kind of lock me in a prison and they do weird stuff to me, and they just keep laughing and they keep saying, "Dad, can you play with me?" So what I will do is when this is released publicly, I will run this on the MiSTerFPGA Sega Saturn core, and I will let my kids play and give me their verdict, because they know the game, they know what's good, what's bad. I haven't got a clue. But anyway, Sega Saturn is getting Minecraft, or it has Minecraft in a kind of capacity, and hopefully we'll get a more refined version soon. Doing all this YouTube stuff, this videos, the website leaves me with very little time to actually game just for the sake of gaming. This is something I wanted to check out. I'm not the biggest Animal Crossing fan. I was at one point, then I thought, what the heck? I've spent 6 months gardening, and then I had a look at my garden and thought, I'm actually going to do some real gardening. But hey, it's a good game. It's relaxing. I get it. It's not something I would like to play. At least not now. But guess what? I did want to check this out. This is Animal Forest GB Folk, right? A proper remake of Animal Crossing for the Game Boy. Features villages that can give quests, befriend, tell stories based on time. Time-based events that can happen based on the clock, time of day and seasons, holiday, festivals, minigames, insects to hunt, fruits to collect and sell, fishing to do, holes to dig and find treasures. So it sounds like Animal Crossing, but it sounds like Animal Crossing for the Game Boy. I definitely want to check this out. Just give it a little bit of a whirl. It looks very charming. It looks very fantastic. And it's available on itch.io as a freebie. Remember guys, check out Metal Game Solid to get like news during the week in written form. So what is this? Native PC port of Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. Now a lot of people will look at this and they'll think, yes, the arcade version has a native PC port. No, that is incorrect. This is the PlayStation 2 version. Now, the arcade version will always be the arcade version. It will be the best version, but we all know anyone that's used CPS-free hardware or has been in an arcade or has been to an event or a tournament, you will know that this hardware is known to fail. You can look at it wrong and it will stop working. I remember being in the arcade many times and having to go and get the techie so they can fix this. The PlayStation 2 version is not arcade perfect, but man, it's a bloody good version. I remember when I was playing this in the arcade in the Trocadero in London, can't remember the year, 2000 and something anyway. We used to play at home on the PlayStation 2, practice our combos, and then we used to go and play on the arcade. So what's really cool over here is the team behind this. They are reverse engineering it, and with reverse engineering you get a lot of quirks. Some of the quirks are you won't get as much input latency as you get in an emulator, and it's going to run natively instead of having that emulator layer on there. That's the biggest thing. But then the netcode, right? The rollback netcode could effectively be better when it's running on a PC port rather than running for an emulator. But then you can have stuff like you can change the soundtrack for it. They're already talking about bringing in the soundtrack from Second Impact. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do. Training mode, different color swaps. So there's some nice quality of life stuff that you can do. But what's really interesting is this tweet over here looks really good. And this is from Heat, where he says the Street Fighter 3 Third Strike PC port 3SX is using my rollback framework GeckoNet for their netplay. Great project. So that's really cool. It'll be interesting to play this online just to see how it feels. Now, it's good to have options. You can play online on Fightcade. You can play online on like different emulators. I really used to like the one on the 360, the 3SOE. I thought that played really well. But this is another option, and this might become the best way to play it bar original hardware, and I will explain why. Because what the guys are looking to do, by the way, there's a GitHub project for this page. All links will be provided. Now, what they want to do is they want to bring in changes from the arcade into this PC port of the PlayStation 2 version. So, for example, if there are differences and stuff that is slightly different in the arcade version than it is on the PlayStation 2 and vice versa, you can bring those arcade changes in there. Now, I remember with Ken, whenever I used to do a crouching medium punch hit confirm, which isn't a cancel, it's a link that you do. I always found it easier in the arcade than I did on the PlayStation 2, and I don't know why. So obviously there are some differences there. I can tell you that when it comes to playing this game on a home console, for that era, the PlayStation version is definitely, the PlayStation 2 version is better than the Dreamcast version. It was a tournament standard in the UK for quite some time until people got more disposable income and we had more CPS-free hardware that people kind of gathered and used. But yeah, really excited about this. Let's see what becomes of this. But the team are working on this. They have been for quite some time, and it's freaking awesome seeing where it has got to so far. And what you're seeing here, guys, is a visual marvel. Now, you can play this PC version of Link's Awakening. You won't find the link for this in the description. This is an actual old live stream that I did. I haven't updated my version yet, but this port has been updated. I hope to update it over the weekend when I have a bit more time. But this is amazing. You can zoom right in, you can zoom right out. In fact, you can zoom out and have a look at the entire island. You can have a look at the entire overworld, and it is all functioning. Every single thing is moving. As you can see here, at the bottom of the screen, at the top of the screen, everything is just live. It is happening. Absolutely amazing. This really is the best way you can play Link's Awakening. I love it. I love my Game Boy DMG version, but this one's freaking amazing. Just, you can zoom out. Imagine playing this, or you can play this on a 65-inch or even bigger 4K TV, and you can see like the entire map. Like actually zooming it out, if you're watching this on your phone, you can probably just see like a couple of ants out there, but this is fantastic. Great to see an update. So this was actually available, and this got DMC aid by Nintendo. So if you want to find it, it's probably out there somewhere. You probably need to search for it. I can't help you with that, but it has been updated. I'm very excited. This is something I want to test out over the course of the weekend. So here's a pleasant surprise for Dragon Ball Z fans. So Dragon Ball Z Budokai HD gets a fan-made PC recompilation. The PC port is available. You can play it now. You need to provide your own assets, but it is available and it's there for you to try. Now it's currently in alpha, so do expect issues with it, whether it's input latency, sound issues. I know my buddy Anime Otaku tried it out. That's why he done this article over on Metal Game Solid. So interesting stuff here. That's the GitHub for it, and this is the person that actually made the PC port. Rin, she has made this. So I'm using a new tool called RexGlue to do the recomp. Find it here, and they're showing off the game, the video. So really interesting. 2026 I feel is definitely the year of recomps. We got quite a lot in 2025, but it looks like we're gonna get more and more in the coming year. So absolutely fantastic seeing this, and hopefully we will start seeing more recomps coming out soon. Fantastic. So guys, that about wraps it up for this week's episode. I really do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then a subscription and a like is always super duper appreciated. I'll see you guys around. Be freaking awesome to one another. This is Pixel Cherry Ninja out.